This is my last graduation speech as dean, as I'm stepping away in July after 21 years being dean here at KU. Now, wait a minute. Are you happy to see me go, or are you congratulating me there? I've really been blessed over the years to work with such great students, with faculty and our staff. I love KU. We have one of the most renowned schools of education human sciences in the country and the highest ranking programs at the University of Kansas. Just a quick example, U.S. News and World Report rated online programs, we were second in the country. Our Department of Special Education is first in the country. The school overall is 8th in the country. Our research expenditures are 6th in the country. When NAL became a thing, our Department of Health, Sport, and Human Exercise Science created the first NIL certificate in the United States. We're innovative, we're productive, and we're highly regarded. And I dare say, there's a lot of athletic teams in this campus that we kill to have our rankings. One of my favorite things about KU are the amazing traditions that we have. You're walking someplace and wearing a Jayhawk shirt, somebody walks by you've never met before, what do they say to you? I was walking on the Great Wall of China outside of Beijing. Swear this is true. It's incredible. I mean, it was so moving walking there. All of a sudden I hear somebody screaming at me, "Rock Chalk!" And I got to thinking, what's stranger? I'm 7,000 miles away from home on this incredible and majestic wall, but somebody I never met before just recognized me because I'm from KU. It's incredible. You walk through the Campanile as a freshman, you weren't supposed to go back in there until tomorrow when you walk back down the hill. Right? We don't just graduate at KU, we walk down the hill. And at football games, what do we all do when we score? And then we actually score now. We wave to eat, right? I gotta tell you, we are the only university in this country where the majority of students actually know and can sing the alma mater. That, to me, dear friends, is what makes KU so special. So this is the time I usually give you my words of wisdom and my charge. And the good news is I'm gonna kind of pass on that today. The bad news is I'm gonna preach for a few minutes, and I have a quick plea for you. Preaching is kind of out of character for me. I'm from New York. You can ask the faculty. Let's just say sometimes you gotta clean up my soily language. My wife, Lori, is the daughter of a Presbyterian minister, and she knows good sermons. That's not me. But given this is my last rodeo, and I think we're facing some troubling times that you can help with. Bear with me for a minute. When I was a kid, I heard a quote from President John Kennedy I never forgot. It was 1963. And he quoted George Bernard Shaw saying these words, "Some people look at things and say, why? I dream of things that never were, and I say, why not?" I tell you, I'm 74 years old, and those words I heard over 60 years ago have stayed with me since that very day. Even today, as I'm facing some new horizons, I'm really a big AI advocate. I look at AI and I think, boy, I dream about what that can do, and I think, why not? But for you graduates, I'm going to alter those words just a few minutes, a little bit. I want you to think about, I look at things as they are today and think to yourself, what happened? What happened? Here's the preaching part. We face a lot of challenges and changes. There are tensions around the world. There are bad actors, there are wars. There's divisiveness in this country like I've never seen in our lifetime. We seem not to pay attention to history. Cordiality and civility have gone away, and honestly, we go after each other. Truth has become harder to discern. And it doesn't matter to me what your political beliefs are or what your religious beliefs are. Our culture seems overcome with nastiness. Nastiness is the new normal. But I don't think it has to be that way. Mahatma Gandhi once said, honest disagreement is often a good sign of progress. Jill Minson, a Harvard professor, has written that we need to learn to disagree better. To my thinking, we need a healthy dose of kindness injected back into our culture. Look, I'm not a religious man, but I've read the Old Testament and the New Testament, even parts of the Quran. In fact, I'm Jewish. But I always admired the words of Jesus about how you should treat others. Somehow we've forgotten those teachings. When you break down Jesus' main message to its essence, it's simple: kindness. Kindness to others. In Ephesians, Paul's letters to the emerging Christians, he said this: let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. He went on, and be ye kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you. Let me ask you a question. Does that sound like America today? In my faith, in the Jewish Talmud, the central text of rabbinic Judaism, it teaches that acts of kindness are intrinsic to Jewish identity. It emphasizes the importance of acts of what they call loving kindness. There are Hebrew words for this: gemulus chasadim. In Proverbs, in the Old Testament, what so oftentimes is called the wisdom literature, we read, she opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. Then in the Quran, true belief in Allah is reflected in how we treat one another. I quote, worship Allah and associate nothing with him, and be kind to parents, to relatives, to orphans, to the poor, to the near and distant neighbors, to close friends, to needy travelers, and to those whom your right hand possess. Indeed, Allah does not like those who are arrogant and boastful. What's common about all of these teachings from the three faiths from Abraham? Kindness, kindness, and kindness. Kindness to others, kindness to our neighbors, kindness to the poor, kindness to the needy. It is the core of all of our religious beliefs. And let's not be naive. There are things happening in our country and around the world that don't evoke many feelings of kindness. We are divided. Politicians of all stripes are nasty. We live in a gotcha culture where on social media, you seem to gain followers and get likes the nastier you are. What the hell's wrong with us? What's the excuse for all the nastiness we see and hear and have come to tolerate, especially in a country that prides itself for being one nation under God, where the message from all the religions that make up the both of our peoples are built on notions of kindness? So we've lost our way, and my plea is for you all, our graduates, to help change it. I was going to give a whole talk about my dog. I have a black lab. Any black lab owners here? They're certifiably out of their minds. We all know that. My dog has eaten several couches, our window shades. She steals every sock and every shoe that you leave out. But you know, the essence of this dog is unbelievable kindness. She wags her tail and loves everybody and everything. When I walk her, I look at her and I think, gosh, I wish I could be like her. We humans have a lot that we can learn from our furry friends. Now, graduates, I'm not telling you to go back to your room and with your roommates and eat the couch and steal their socks. I'm not suggesting that. But the only way to bring us back where we need to be is to demand more of one another. Who better than you, Jayhawks, our future teachers, educators, health and mental health professionals, scientists, sports leaders, academics? You should demand nothing less. We, the people, have allowed kindness to slip, and we, the people, have to be the ones that bring it back. You're graduating from one of the great universities in the world, arguably from the greatest programs that our university has to offer. You're smart. Your tenacity and your work and your dedication have proven your grit to lead. Be guides for the future, helping to restore our righteous souls. So here's my plea to all of you. Make us really great again, pushing us to treat everyone with respect and dignity and the care they deserve. In the words of the children of Moses, in the words of Jesus Christ, in the words of Allah, bring back kindness to our culture. And I end with this. I'm playing on George Bernard Shaw and John Kennedy one more time. Some people see things and say, why? I ask you, Jayhawks, to dream about the way things should be and say, why not? Rock chalk.